Right, hello and welcome to Flying Through History, and this is our first video, and for this video we're going to look at a rather unique mine site, because this is a site in the Northern Pennines dating originally from the 1700s, but the main site that you see these days is from the early 1800s, and it's actually designed by a Cornish man at the moment. And at the moment what you can see in front of you is one of the reservoirs, and to the left is the chimney. Now the chimney took smoke from the flues. The actual smelt mill was down in the valley below, but you can see these lines coming up the hill. Those are the lines of the flue. Some of the flues still exist further down. We'll take a look at that perhaps in another video. But yeah, the smoke would come all the way up the flues and to this chimney over here, which as the smoke came up the flues, the lead would appear on the side of the flues, and young children were employed to go up the flues and remove the lead. Not a nice job, and obviously children did not live long lives. So what we're going to do is have a quick flight along the reservoir wall. The main mine site is further along. You might be able to see another chimney in the distance along there. That's the main mine site, but what we'll do for the moment, we'll descend to the reservoir wall. There we go. It's not a big reservoir, this was to provide water for workings further down. So what we'll do, we'll get a quick flight along the reservoir wall. I'm sorry for any wind on the mic, it is a windy day and I have no way of stopping that at the moment until I find a fancier solution. But what we'll do a quick flight along the reservoir wall. There's somebody else flying in the area, so I'm just going to check what they're doing. What's your position at the moment? I'm just going to fly along the reservoir wall and go to the chimney. Sorry? Oh yeah, I'm going to fly along it. Are you alright? Okay? Right, there it goes. There we go. So yeah, smoke would come along here into that entrance there and then up this chimney. So what we'll do, if we can get visual on it, there it is over there, lower down, raise this up, and we might be able, there we go, climb up the wall. We'll do a nice climb, slow climb up, adjusting as we go. And as we get to the top, adjust the gimbal down, and we can have a look down the chimney. Now hopefully, it is a bit windy, but it should be okay. We get back a bit, okay, and then left a bit, back a bit, precision flying. Now if I change my ISO setting, you might be able to see down the chimney. Be daring. Very slowly drop. And left a bit. There we go. See, that's the best shot I can get down the chimney without getting too close to it. Which I don't want to do. Oops, that was me overcorrecting. Which I don't want to do in these conditions. So, there we go. That's the best shot we're going to get down there. So what we'll do next, we shall climb Okay, so there we go. I'm re-narrating this part of the video due to the high wind noise on the microphone. But there's the reservoir looking beautiful and deep blue. You can just see my friend's drone going across it actually. Pulling back to get a nice wide shot. And position, we're going to drop in a second. You can see the overflow from the reservoir going past the chimney there and flooding into the fields. What we're doing now is dropping and repositioning to do a fly past of the reservoir. We're going to fly across the water. So, getting our position, dropping down a bit, getting the gimbal set up, dropping down a bit, and gunning it. Okay, pulling up from our flight across the water, you can see there in the distance the main mine site with the big chimney sticking up, which is almost identical to the one we've been examining. And as we're in the area, we'll go for a quick flight over before coming back and land and walking over to that site so that our drones stay in sight at all times while flying around that area. But you can see the watercourses there. You can see the main shaft with the chimney behind it. The shaft's got the red cover on, that's a modern cap, steel sort of iron cover thing. That shaft is 420 feet deep, and there's a leat. That is a watercourse providing water to the reservoir, which is just about behind us at the moment in this position. And you can see the mine workings go down that valley there. There are actual shafts from the 1700s down there, but not visiting that today, maybe another time. But what we'll have to do, we'll have to fly back, land, walk over and get airborne again. Right, a little bit of extra footage here because I flew back and my friend was flying his drone above the chimney. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to film him recording the chimney. The issue we're having is the high winds, so as you can see his drone is getting blown around. Mine seems a little bit more stable where it is. It might be chop coming off the reservoir wall at a lower level. But it's fun to try and watch him get positioned to get a photograph down there. You can see how he gets blown all around. And of course, as you come off to the side of the chimney, you've got turbulence from the chimney as well, which makes the situation a lot worse. So it's best to come over quite high and then drop down slowly. See him drop down a little bit to see him a bit closer. There he is. He knows I'm above him. He's been briefed not to fly upwards, so he will depart sideways. There he goes. I'll have a quick nosy around before landing. So here we are, here's the main mine site. Ahead of us we have chimney, and to the left we have one of two shafts. Not sure where the chimney was taking smoke from. Must be processes on the mine site itself. Wasn't related to the smelt mills. That's the main shaft. That's around 420 feet. That's got a modern cap on it. To the right there, in the dip with the snow in, dead ahead, there's a second shaft, but it's there it is. You can't see it because the building's collapsed into it, closing it up, but you can see the dip where it is beneath. So yep, there's the main chimney, and looking up, there's the leat which provides water to the second reservoir, which held water for the main mine site. And down the side of the valley there, you can actually see, it's off to the left, but you can actually see the rail, where the rail was, but we'll have a look at that in a bit. Flying down the valley, further down the valley, we're not visiting there today, but you've got shafts from, believed to be, predate this mine site, and are from the 1700s. Spinning around, we can see the main mine site overall, and we are just above, when we back up in a moment. There we go. This is the Cornish hopper. This is a hopper for taking ore from the carts, which would be at the top, dropping it into carts at the bottom. And this is rather unique because this is a Cornish design of hopper. This is, as far as I know, the only example of this in the Northern Pennines. Yes, this site looks very different than it would have back in the day when it was active. Now we're going to go and try and have a look for the drift, but when you're using the drone in the bright sunlight, it is sometimes difficult to see the details on the screen, so you can't actually see as clearly as you're seeing it on the video. It's not bad, but sometimes it's a bit harsh, so we need to get a bigger screen. Looking at getting an iPad, an old iPad for it. But there's the actual drift on the left there, going off screen, but you'll see that better in a moment as we fly back. So what we're doing at the moment, I believe, is setting up for what's known as a droney. So what we'll do, we'll position ourselves into a nice spot. You can see the elite going around the back of the site there, curving from the right to the left at the top of the screen. So just positioning for the start of the shot, and then once we're happy, which will be in a moment, there we go, we will start our climb out. This involves backing the drone up and hitting and climbing at the same time, and there you go. So returning back to the site for one last look around, and you can see the shaft on the left there and all the infrastructure, and there you go. A flight down the valley, and this is where we go to have a look for the adit again. You see we're just coming over the end of the tips, and they're just going off the bottom of the screen is that hopper. You can see the railway on the left hand side of the valley. There we go, and spin around, and yeah, you can see the little chimney there and the reservoir up on the top left. And as we fly down, we are searching for the drift. I've actually come up with an idea here. Can't see it on the screen, so it makes sense that the tips going off from the hopper lead to the mouth of the drift. So I just follow that up, and hey presto. Still not sure because it's quite dark on the screen, but we're flying in and having a look for the drift. That drift goes in and bends right and goes to that shaft, but I would not recommend going in mines. It is very dangerous and that is unstable, so keep out. We do have the mine exploration channel, UK Abandoned Mine Explorers, if you're into that sort of thing. Link to that below. But yes, that's the main stone lined drift. I was quite pleased when I saw that come up on the screen, because this is quite a bit. As you can see, it's 30 feet lower than my point at that time, and you can see the tips there clearly from coming out of the shaft. So we reposition ourselves. See the elite coming around the site. Having a bit of camera control issues there because of the high winds at the time. So I think something was affecting the transmission as well. So there we go. There's a last look at the site. So if you've enjoyed the video, that's our first one, then please like the video and consider subscribing. If you've got any comments about the video or other locations in the North Pennines you'd like us to see, then please leave them in the comments. Other than that, you can join us on our Facebook group and Instagram. All the links to that below. Other than that, thanks very much for watching.